Have you ever said, if I can just do blank, if I could just make $100,000, then I'd finally be happy. Then I'll know I've made it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about making it. What does that actually look like for you? And the process that my coach took me through that changed my perception on making it. So let's do this. If you're looking to ditch financial stress, struggle, and guilt for good so that you can create the happiness, family life, financial security, and long-term wealth that you deserve, those unstoppable finances you're looking for, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. And then, of course, ring the bell for notifications. Welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm so excited that we're here. We're back. We're going to be talking about making it. And maybe you're like me, and the thought of making it, what I thought this looked like is I felt like I didn't make it. Well, we'll just use my business as an example, that I won't make it in my business until I hit, I don't know, $100,000 a year. But the problem with that was, let's back up a little bit. Okay. So this is what I thought that making it was, right? Was making $100,000 a year in my business. Now, putting aside the fact that less than 2% of female business owners make $100,000 a year, 68% are somewhere between 0 and 24,000. Now, the part that that statistic doesn't talk about is what is actually your goal. Maybe not all their goals is to make 100,000, because for a lot of people, it's not. If your goal is to make $100,000 a year in your business, you're already like a step above everybody because you have that ambition. A lot of people are really comfortable making an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's something that we need to be aware of when we talk about those statistics. So we just got to put that out there. Okay. So wanted to make $100,000 a year. And growing up, we talked about this. It felt like it was always a struggle. Like, we've talked about the situations that we went through, those financial crises, and I created these stories that I failed my family. So I was still doing the same thing, but creating these stories that I was, quote, failing in my business because I wasn't creating that $100,000 in profit like I wanted to, or even in revenue like I wanted to. But same coach that helped me see those change, that helped me really see what actually happened and what was actually going on, instead of that lens of the failure that I was looking at, and actually see the successes that we already had. So you might be saying, okay, but the problem, Aimee, is like, I haven't hit the goal. Okay. I'm not even breaking even at this point. So yeah, I get all that, but this is what's going on. You don't understand, because I've got this situation, like, because I don't have time, because my kids are home and I don't have the time to work, or because I'm still working a full-time job, or because I have extra demands going on. There's so many things that we have going on, and I am not discounting that at all. But I've got good news for you. It doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to sit in that stress and that struggle any longer with that trying to make it when it comes to your business, trying to make it when it comes to your income, trying to make it when it comes to your house. Because there's a simple process that I'm going to take you through, the switch that we can make, and it's going to be game changing. You ready for this? Okay. So what is this process? What is making it actually look like? Like we talked about before, it's really important to have a goal, really vital, because it doesn't matter where you're driving. If you don't know the destination of where you're going, like, it's not going to do us any good. So I think we can all agree on that part, right? But there's a danger that comes with goal setting as well. A couple of dangers. So the first danger is something called cognitive dissonance. Now, if you haven't heard of cognitive dissonance, this is what happens when we try and make a really big jump. So, for example, if you are not breaking even in your business right now, and then you all of a sudden want to make $100,000 a year, or we can just 10,000 a month, 100,000 a year. Those are typically the two main ones that we hear. That's a big jump, right? Especially if you've never made $100,000 a year in some other form or fashion. So we create cognitive dissonance with our subconscious mind. It's so big of a jump, we don't necessarily believe that we can do it. So a lot of times when we set these BHAG goals, big, hairy, audacious goals, which there's nothing wrong with, I set those goals, but I might not put a timeline on those goals. We want to set the goals that are actionable goals, goals that we can actually achieve. And we're going to be talking all about goal setting. Teaser alert for my Money Master Inner Circle members. I've got a really awesome training coming for you in January, all on goal setting and how to effectively set goals you can actually achieve to help you create that unstoppable 2022. If you want to learn a bit more about Money Masters Inner Circle, I'll include a link in the show notes. It's closed for enrollment, but you can get on the wait list. I always include special bonuses to my waitlist members first. So make sure that's there for you in the show notes. But, like we've set the goals, we're going to set goals that are actually kind of achievable, right? So setting goals that you can achieve, that's really a discussion for another day. But the constant, we set these goals and you achieve it. And then we set the next goal and then we work to achieve that. And we're not ever content and happy with where we're at now. So how many times have I heard, which is all the time, like, okay, we're going to be able to do this when we do this, or we're going to be able to do this when we do this. So we're going to be able to go visit family when I hit this goal, or I'm going to be able to take time off when I hit this goal. We're going to be able to take this vacation when I hit this goal. I'm going to be able to take a day off every single week because I talk about prioritizing yourself and taking a day off every single week. So you're avoiding taking a day off, taking that day of rest until you actually create that profit that you're looking for, until you do this, or we're not going on a vacation until we pay off all of our debt. The problem is when we set these goals and like there's a time and place for takeaway goals like that. We can talk about that all day long, which again, that's goal setting. We'll save that for another episode. But when we set ourselves up like that we're working towards that next thing. Okay, we can't do this until this. We can't be happy until we have this. Oh, it's just until we get there. It's a fast track to create unhappiness, struggle, and a lack of fulfillment. Because we're not being present with where we're at now. So if we're constantly concerned about the future and making it, which is important, but it shouldn't be our only focus. We have to be grounded and present and happy with where we're at now. And then you're going to fast track your goals. You're going to get to the place that you want to go so much faster, because we've released all of that tension. I don't know about you, but I store my tension right here in my shoulders. You can see, if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see like right here. That's where I store it. Thank goodness for chiropractors, right? But if you don't release this, if we don't come to a place where we're just okay, understanding that we've made it now, like, what is making it mean? That was one of the first questions I asked you. So if you've got a definition of making it, we'll make that, two challenges today. So your first challenge is tell me what making it means to you on Instagram. And we're going to get to the second one here shortly. But if we don't come to the terms with the fact that you've already made it, even if you're going through struggles, even if you feel like you're not enough, even if you feel unworthy, even if you feel like you failed, you've still made it, because we've made so much progress and there's happiness in the place that you're at. Now, if you're going through crisis and struggle, you might not find as much happiness as you could. I'm not pretending like there's not stuff going on. I can tell you right now, even before recording this episode, like there was frustration with the kids. They have been at testing limits, we'll put it that way, testing limits with me for last couple weeks. So it's not all like rainbows and butterflies. We still have those times, but I still know that I've made it because of the clients and the people that I've been able to impact so far. I still know that like I've made it because I'm the mom that I want to be, and because I'm that present mom. No, I'm not perfect. None of us are. I'm not saying we're not going to make mistakes. We're not saying that we're going to be able to achieve everything, but you have made it. And my challenge today, the real challenge for you, is to figure out where you've made it at. And then I want you to tell me, send me a message on Instagram. Let me know, where have you made it at? Because when you figure this out, what's going to happen is, like I said, you're going to achieve your goals faster because of all those released negative emotions. You're going to be happier. That was like one of the best compliments I got. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was talking with a group coaching program. It's probably been working with them for almost 18 months now or so. And I was sharing some of the stuff that was going on, and it was kind of a funny moment because the coach started to ask me like what was going on, and I just started laughing because there has been so much that had happened in the last couple weeks, and like some of it was frustrating, yes, but I was able like to look back on it and just kind of laugh. And I was telling everybody like what had gone on, and this is what we did. And there was another lady in the coaching group, and she was like, "You just look happy, Aimee." And it was one of the biggest compliments, because for so long I sat stuck in that struggle and that frustration and that feeling like that I wasn't worthy of achieving that happiness because I hadn't hit whatever goal, that I hadn't quote unquote made it like that. But knowing that I actually had made it, been able to step into those unstoppable finances, step into creating an unstoppable life, and step into that true happiness. And I know that you can do that too. So your challenge for today, what is an area that you've made it in? I want you to write it down. And then I want to hear, send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka. Where have you made it in your life? Can be financially, doesn't have to be, but where have you made it in your life? And we'll see you next week. Bye for now. This episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast is brought to you by Healthy Habits Impulse Spending Challenge. The Healthy Habits Impulse Spending Challenge will help you create happy, helpful, and healthy spending habits that both your budget and your desire to go buy stuff love. Because not all impulse spending is bad. Inside the challenge, we'll create a customized plan that allows you to continue to spend in a way that aligns with your finances, your goals, and your priorities, setting you up to become unstoppable in your finances. The strategy of eliminating all impulse spending and no spend challenges, I'm not a fan. In fact, I've kicked them to the curb because you deserve to spend money on yourself without the guilt. And honestly, you need to spend money to create financial prosperity. We'll break it all down inside the challenge into simple, no fluff trainings. We'll kick off officially on January 11th. So all you need to do right now is to get registered. To see all the details and register, simply visit aimeecerka.com/impulse or text impulse to 817-969-4653. And of course, that link's going to be hanging out in the show notes for you as well.